Sen.Dr. Ibrahim Yahaya Oloriegbe. I primarily represent Kwara Central Senatorial District of Kwara State. I'm Chairman Senate Committee on Health, Secondary and Tertiary in the 9th Assembly.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Senator just passed a bill concerning sickle cell anemia. Can you please throw more light in regards to the bill?
Well, the bill is essentially a policy bill. It's not establishing any new agency for sickle cell.
Okay.
But the objective or the basis of the bill or the purpose is identifying sickle cell as a major health challenge in this environment based on our location and based on our genetics. And it's an affliction that causes severe pains to people that are affected. But we do have some interventions, but we don't have coordinated intervention, and that intervention is not effective. So that bill, in terms of seeking control, is to be able to establish a framework that will enable many levels of government to take, and non-governmental organizations to take actions that will enable a better control of the condition in terms of reducing the number of people afflicted and enabling those that are afflicted to get better care. The bill gave roles to Federal Ministry of Health,
okay,
to be able to, one, establish a policy and framework that will guide the management and control of the disease, that will mobilize resources, and that will supervise. Legislative mandate in Nigeria, we talk about list. Health is a concurrent list. And National Assembly cannot legislate for state and local government. So, but the bill provided a framework through which the various states as assemblies can also take a cue and adapt what has been set up in the federal. But give certain role to the federal, especially in terms of mobilizing and coordinating resources that we support, in terms of issuing guidelines, and then the bill create some offenses in addition to just providing legal framework. Now, in terms of legal framework, it gave role to religious bodies, it gave roles to schools, it gave roles to various employers of labor, so that they don't discriminate against people with sickle cell, so that they can provide support. But when I talk religious body, it's about encouraging counseling to be done and testing to be done. It also make provision to make testing readily more available. So it's sort of like saying that everybody at a younger age of between 6 months and 1 year should get their children tested so that you identify what gene they carry. And if they're a carrier, so that they are properly counseled in terms of selection of spouse who they marry, so that will reduce the number and there will be willingness. But you know, the bill cannot enforce people not to marry. And I mean, expand the horizon for testing.
Okay.
Because many people don't know their genotype before they get married. And the bill is trying to encourage that churches and so on, before they, or even mosques or religious body, they want to engage people, they should be counseled to go and do testing before they finally agree to marry each other. So with the bill, if the Federal Ministry of Health, the various ministries of health and NGOs play a role of enlightenment of the people, so it will increase awareness of the existence of the disease, of what it is about, of how to prevent it and how to manage it. But secondly, is the way I see it is to mobilize resources, because the bill provided specific section for how resources in terms of donation, either in cash or in kind, money and so on, could be done. It also makes mandate the Federal Ministry of Health to support further research on how the conditions can be taken care of. There are right issues, because we discussed that when we are presenting the bill. When you talk about rejecting advice, is to only be rejecting treatment. That is fundamental right of choice. But the bill only provided penalties for people that misuse funding that is meant for sickle cell management.
Okay.
But the first draft was trying to say that people should be prevented from marrying each other. But we didn't allow that to be the bill, because everybody has a right as to choice.
Wow.
But the only thing we put there is to encourage, to advise, to counsel that people should know the implication. So you have a choice after that. It's a right that you can, people, it will be challenged in court and they win. And I think there are cases like that for other situations, other conditions. What am I trying to say is that people have a choice. And the individual choice is there. Of course, you are talking of the in thought, in legal thought.
Yeah.
Somebody that has not been born does not have a right.
Yeah.
Isn't it? In law. So,
okay.
so you get my point. But when the person is born now, he has a right.
Okay.
But you are preventing. And then two, yes, it's a probability. That's what, if somebody go, I'm not preempting, I'm not the judge. But it doesn't mean because two people are ASAS, they will have SS. They may not.
Okay.
The chance is there, but still a chance is still a probability. Do you get my point? So because there's still that chance that they may not, that room gives them to say, okay, well, we want to take the risk. If you don't have, and two, even if they take the risk, it does not mean that automatically it's a death sentence. Sickle cell is not a death sentence, especially now with improved situation. We have people that have grown up to 50, 60 years that are sickler, as far as they are well taken care of. What the punishment would be is if the parent did not allow or enable the child to get treatment or to get care which is available. Or what will be punished is for government not to make treatment available. What the law says is to make the treatment and management to be accessible, available, and be free. So that is what we are looking. So, but this issue about punishing people or forcefully saying people should marry each other, it's not been tested in court, but our view is that you are impinging on people's right of choice. No. It's not a death sentence.
Okay.
It's not. I've seen that. Just like I said, I had classmates who are sickle cell and become a doctor and married and so on. But so when you talk about death, it doesn't mean because once you're a sickler, you are dead. No. It's a condition that's manageable. It's a condition that is manageable. I didn't say it is curable. I mean, there is a cure in terms of bone marrow transplant, but it's very costly. It's not readily available. We have only one bone marrow transplant center in Nigeria, which is in Benin. It wasn't functional when we came in 2020 budget. We put funds for it. We have to check so that the place can be. So they can do bone marrow transplant, and that is one of the. But beside that, the regular management is there. And what is good about it in Nigeria is that there has been a product that are developed in this country, which is now being marketed, which reduces sickling. So once, with reduction in malaria, and currently now, luckily we now have a vaccine trial for malaria. It means if you're able to eliminate malaria, survival will be better. There are two things that cause sickling. I mean, that worsen sickling or make it to be frequent. One is, both of them are infection. Yeah. But I'm classifying specifically because malaria is the major thing. What kills most sickler is not the sickle. It is the complication, the infection that happens. When they have malaria, they are not able, the S cell is not able to combat malaria like the A. I mean the S gene rather, not cell, S gene in the blood, in the red blood cell. So there is the blood, they call it sickle cell is because the red cell becomes sickled. So it's not able to navigate the veins, and then once it is sickled, it will be destroyed. So the blood level of the victim goes down. So anemia and anemia complication happen. What causes pain is not the anemia, it's the sickling that causes pain. In terms of the bone and so on, the blood that sickles. But what may kill will be now when they get anemia, then they get more infection. Then the sickle something also is a good fertile ground for infection. So the second point after malaria is other infections like pneumonia and other infection that other children will get that they are able to fight. So sickler will not be able to fight it. Wow. You get my point? Yeah. In later life, because of frequent sickling, then they can get damage to bone and so on. Those are different complications. Wow. But I've seen sicklers that look normal because if they are well protected from infection and if they are treated, they go on to adult life and still be better. So it's not a death sentence. Other things can kill.
Okay, thank you,
even
sir.
More than sickle cell.